Is it just like my screen? If I point you at some darkness, do you maybe? There you go. You got brighter. Oh, how's everybody doing? A couple people here. Come on. We got some work to do tonight. I hope some people show up. Hope some people show up because we are going to do a thing. Nobody's home. Makes me think that maybe there is. Oh, did some work already today. Been out here for a bit. Well, on and off. I was out here for a bit today. Trying some things, making sure that things were going to work theoretically on the live show. Wanted to make sure that my bandsaw could handle a 12-inch resaw, which it can, turns out. Maybe one beer. I'm not table sawing. This is a relatively major bandsaw operation, though. Let's not yet. I get a Coke. Well, don't get a Coca-Cola Classic. I always have a Coca-Cola Classic on the go in the fridge as well. This episode sponsored by? No. Nope. Not even a little bit. Oh, that one's a little flat. That's... Yeah. A flat Coke is better than a fresh Pepsi. Oh, so we're going to make a guitar live on the show. Well, we're going to, not from right from the start, but pretty close to right from the start. I mean, other than the fact that the blanks are glued up already and the general shape has been cut out of them years and years ago. This is basically starting from scratch and building a guitar, which is what we're going to do live on the show. I did a little bit today. I'm going to wait for some people to show up before I get too far into it. Where's everybody at? People showed up on Saturday when I spontaneously did a Saturday show, and then they don't come at the regular day and time. Am I actually on? Somebody tell me if they're actually seeing this. I see McGill and I see Stanifer. Is this actually happening? Okay, McGill says I'm on. I don't know. Can never tell sometimes with technology. Guess not enough people have their notification bell pressed. But it's the same time every week. It's just like... Is there football? Oh, it's Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Dallas Cowboys tonight. Maybe that's a problem. You can put me on too. You can watch both. I don't know. I don't care. If nobody shows up, if it's just me and McGill, we'll chop the top off a guitar. Chop the top off a guitar body blank. We'll do a 12-inch resaw on the bandsaw tonight. Oh, Stanifer's here too. That's right. Sorry. I knew that you were here and totally forgot. Because Stanifer's the worst. Yeah, stale flat Coke isn't that much better than Pepsi. It's a little bit better than Pepsi, not much. Oh, we'll just wait for a few more people to roll in. We'll do a big fat resaw, and we'll get to the point where I can continue the operations maybe, depending on how it goes, we might go find the top in the big piece of spalted maple. The top that we're going to put on the top of this. Because if I'm rocking on the bandsaw anyway, we could go ahead and look for the top in that big piece of spalted maple. Yeah, Beepinel made it back. How you doing, my friend? Where's Seepinel? He'll be around probably. Okay. So, earlier today, he's getting, you're right, Stanifer, he's late as usual. Like, he is getting worse for late than I used to be. Well, and sometimes still am. Earlier today, took this and sliced the top of it off into this. And then I cut this out because I'm going to recess a piece of wood into here. This guy. Goes in there to fill that gap. This one I'm just going to fill with epoxy. This one I think might show up when I put the top on and then put a pickup cavity in here. So I kind of want it to be filled with wood if it's going to maybe show up later. Well, that's a good fit. So I routed that out to match this. That's my first router-based inlay. Remember one of last year's resolutions? I'm going to do my first router-based inlay on the inside that may never be seen of a guitar. But if it is seen, I want it to be wood instead of epoxy. The front one is just going to be top, and then the neck pocket is going to be carved back into it, and then there's going to be a neck in there, so you're never going to see that one. So I'll fill the front one with epoxy. Back one I'm going to fill with wood. And so tonight we're going to do a big resaw like I did this afternoon on a guitar body. Test worked. I saw the pics. Did you? Did I put them somewhere? Looks like that could be a bit of wall art. Actually, I sent them to Pinnell. I was like, yeah, I can do big fat resaws. And he was like, you know what would be cool is if you just encapsulated that in epoxy and made it like a cabinet door. And I was like, yes, that would in fact be cool. So maybe after I have two of these, could you imagine a cabinet that had doors on it that were like, just do epoxy around there, and then on the inset panel, like on each one, and then the rest of it's like a black epoxy. So maybe, maybe. I mean, I'm resawing them off so that I'm not wasting the wood, because I could just fire it through the planer until it's down to size. But the reason I'm resawing it is to save it for something. And initially I thought it would be maybe just box parts. Take some box parts or a box lid or something out of here, whatever, just to not be wasting the wood. But then Pinnell was like, "Ooh, cabinet door." It's like, that's a pretty slick idea. That would be a pretty slick cabinet door. Tyler Pearson's here. Look out. He's going to be all upset at me that I'm only putting the right number of frets in this guitar. got you till 6:30. All right. I guess we better hurry up so that Tyler Peterson can see everything. This big important thing at 6:30 that he's got to go to. Should we just get the resaw happening so that I can so maybe I can have a beer? That'd be good. I've been out here working I've done a couple hours in the shop today. So let's take the top off this guitar body. This is the one. This is the one I did earlier today. We're gonna do this to a little bit of a different story. The Purple Heart maple is gonna be harder than the Black Walnut Purple Heart maple, but the resaw on this was not as unpleasant as I expected it to be in terms of its difficulty. I know I went nice and slow. I let the chips clear, let the blade clear the chips. I didn't force it, and it went well. It's a little awkward. I'll show you when we get over there. Because it's shaped like a guitar already, as it goes through, it starts like this as it starts the resaw. But then this side comes off the back of the bandsaw and it goes like that for a little bit. And it's not. Don't do this if you're not comfortable doing this. That's all I'm going to say. That's the safety disclaimer. If this makes you uncomfortable, don't do this. I'll show you what I'm talking about. Come on. So, we're going to put this guy. It starts riding down here kind of off the side of the thing. And then as it starts resawing, it comes up a little bit more. And then as it gets through that side, it's actually going to be going this way. So then as it gets to about here, it starts coming off the saw again and tilting down as it finishes the cut. Not an ideal situation, but it is what it is. And it went okay for me earlier. So we're going to give it another go. Just enough blade. Yeah, I've got, I could do another 1/2 inch, probably. I got about another 1/2 inch of blade up there. This is, I want to say almost exactly 12. Yeah, it's almost exactly 12. And I've got 12. I've got 13. So I've got another inch if I need it. Oh, serious operation. All right, stop joking around. This is. Okay, and also, when I say loud noises tonight, usually it's like louder, but tonight, when I say loud noises, I mean it. You should turn your volume down because the loud noises tonight are going to be louder than they usually are. So, loud noises, I'm going to give you a second, turn the volume down, especially if you're under headphones or something, because this is going to scream when I turn it on. Loud noises. There we go. doesn't like this very much. That was not nearly as smooth an operation as the first one was today. It did start to drift and come down, so I started a little bit more of a freehand kind of operation and moved it away from the fence to bring it back. And so now this is fairly wonky, but I saved some material. And yeah, so loud noises again, not nearly as bad as it was before. So that's a little bit wonky. I don't know if it's going to show up. We're a little bit thin. We just do a fatter top than we had expected to do. Let's fire it through the planer a few times. See if we can't get it flat. We're going to be, damn, that's actually quite bad. That's like an inch. I was hoping for 1 1/8 inches. But it's going to be a thicker top on this one than I was hoping. Let's flatten it out and see what we've actually got when all is said and done. It's a 1/2 inch top or so coming onto this guy, I think. Loud noises again. Like serious loud noises too, not just like the shop vac. it's almost exactly an inch thick now. So yeah, the top is going to be a little thicker than I was hoping, but loud noises. There you go. That's a good start for a guitar. Maybe I just fill that with epoxy too. I really don't need to like inlay a block of wood there. I don't know. Think on it. We've got the base of the guitar body. We're only 25 minutes in, so we are in fact going to go find a top in that big piece of spalted maple. Because that is not enough work done on the show. Too bad it wasn't the other side. Could be an arm bevel. It's true. If it was on the back side, it could have been an arm bevel. Whatevs. Whatevs. I saved some material. I ended up thicker or thinner than I wanted to. But I think the material savings to work to use for other things, whether it's cabinet doors or whatever it ends up being, it's worth the effort. Glue the two tops together and make a third guitar? No. First of all, that would look stupid. And second of all, that would once I plane this thing down, this thing that I just cut off, once I plane this down, I've got about a 1/4 inch at that spot right there. So this is going to be a 1/4 inch thick. This is about 3/8. So this does not give me nearly enough meat for even like the start of another guitar. Epoxy in the middle. You just put this one down, do a layer of epoxy, put this one on top. A hollow body, put this one on the top and just do around the outside with a piece of wood. I really quite like the idea of just making these into cabinet doors. Maybe like this. Cabinet doors open and close like that. It's a pretty cool idea, actually. All right. So there's our second of our two topless guitars. Cool. That was fun. Let's find the top in that piece of spalted maple. I'll show you what I'm looking at. I got my piece of Purple Heart for the top of the walnut one today. So this, unfortunately, they didn't have anything like 6-ish or 7 inches wide. So this is about 9.5. So I'm gonna get a bunch of pen blanks off one side. And I'll take this and then I'll split it that way. Do about 6-ish there. And then open it up and book match it for the top of the walnut one. The one that we're doing live here on the show, the Purple Heart one. I'm going to use this big piece of spalted maple and find a top in there. I'll show you what I'm looking at. There go the glasses. So this is my piece of spalted maple. It's like 3 inches thick. And unfortunately, the top that I want is right here. I want the most interesting spalty bits for my top. This is about 12 inches wide, 3 inches thick, but I want like the middle 6 and a bit. And I actually want it like that, which is wasteful. Because I was thinking like if I just chop 3 inches off either side, that's like a bunch of lidded boxes or something, right? I can get off those sides. But I kind of want the book match to have the grain coming into the middle. So I do want to skew it a little bit. So unfortunately, it means I do have to waste a little bit of this, probably. But let's draw it out. Let's see what I want. Even if it's just skewed just a little bit, you still get a couple of things off that side and a couple of things off of here. See if I go like that. I go like that kind of a thing. Oh wait, I want it that way. Because when I open it up, I want this grain pointed towards the, yeah, okay. So I want it like this. We'll go to 6.5. What do we do? I went to 7.5 on that one. That's where I got confused. That's what I want, and I want 18. Yeah, 17 and a half, 18 from there. Let's go 17 and a half. Try to save some material here. I'll just eyeball that square-ish. Start by just taking that. Save all of this. Do a little more. Give myself a little bit of extra room. We can take that off and that off. Then we'll have this block and we can resaw our top off of that. I don't know if that's showing up for you guys or not. But let's let's chop it up. Actually, you probably want to be a little bit higher for this particular operation. See what we can do here. Yeah. We'll do it this way first. Down this line. Is that the best? And get those pieces and the others. I can get 1, 2, 3. I can get 4 lidded boxes out of this, or 2 like 4-inch bowls or something. And then we'll come this way. And yes, I realize that that blade does not need to be that high still. Settle down. Loud noises. Turn the volume down. It's going to scream again when I turn it on. Fair warning. Are you turned it down? Okay. That's all the chance you get. block of spalted maple now. So let's just keep this thing going. We'll just resaw top off it. Loud noises again. What did I say? It needed to be like a ½ inch and a bit. Do about 5/8. That seems too big. Go. Just came out like that. That's going to be our top. Let's come in just a little bit that way. That's enough to show that it's going to be a book match. Rad. It's not as spalty as it was on this side. Once you get into it, it's not as spalty, but there's cool things happening in it, so. Yeah. I like that. I don't know that it's showing up that well for you guys, but on my end, it looks pretty cool. And those will go on the top of this. Like this. Sweet. Happy with that. What did we end up in thickness here? I mean, I got to plane those down still so that, but we are back up over 1.5 inches, 1 5/8. I might lose 1/8 off those when I plane them down. 1.5 inches is thick enough for a guitar body. Think. Better be, because that's what we're getting. That's what we're getting. Put a black veneer between the top and the bottom. That's interesting. It's not a terrible idea. Do I need any more thickness? I don't think I need any more thickness. 1.5 inches is thick enough for a guitar body. Isn't it? I'm not doing any switches. There's no switches. It's a single humbucker, 1 tone, 1 pickup. This is a straightforward, simple thing. Because I'm a straightforward, simple guy. I think that's kind of what we're at. I wish it was spalty all the way through, but it there's like those kinds of spalts, but none of the black inky stuff that was on the outside. That's all right. We're good. I'm happy. I might want to taper them in a little bit to like accentuate that book match a little bit. Then I have to do that exactly the same on both of them to keep that book match. I don't know how much I trust myself to be able to do that. Because I just tape them together. Just taper one. And then it's a book match still. Don't overthink it. Stop overthinking it. Okay. Book match, spalted maple top on a Purple Heart walnut or maple body with a maple neck with a strip of Purple Heart in the middle. I like that. I like that a lot, actually. You got a tapering jig for the table saw? I do not. You were going to make me one at one point, I think. Then you never did. I think you asked me, like you said, like, let me know when you want one. And I was like, oh, yeah, sure. Anytime. I don't really need one, though. I could just, I could CA glue and masking tape on an angle against a piece of MDF or something and just... I'm going to plane these down. Well, I have to joint. This one I don't. This one's flat already. What have I done? What did I do? Oh, this way. This way. Yeah, okay. I'm back. Okay. We're good. We're in a good place. Borrow yours? Yeah, I could borrow yours, except does it ride against the fence or does it ride in your channels? What words? Miter fence rails. Because if it rides against the fence, yeah, I could just borrow yours. Better mark those tops. Yeah, you're right. I should do that. I'm gonna just put a little. There we go. Now I know that they go that way. Cool. I like where we've gotten to. And now I can have a beer. Sweet. I'm relatively impressed. I've never asked the Rikon to do that kind of work. And I mean, it was not happy about 12 inches of Purple Heart. But it did 12 inches of walnut and Purple Heart and maple. Just tickety boo. Like, just no problems at all. I probably, because it was live show and I was like filming and whatever. Well, I was filming the other one too, but I think I probably got a little pushy with it and it started to wander a little bit because I was trying to make it do. But yeah, definitely it had a harder time. I think this resaw this afternoon took about 2.25 minutes. Just letting the saw blade clear. This one I got pushy and it started to walk. But I could take this down. I can take this down to a 1/4 inch. Take this down to a 1/4 inch, and then I make them into cabinet doors. What model do I have? I have the Rikon 10326. Technically, the live show is now ahead of the recorded show. It's true, because the live show has a top cut. It's true. But by the time the next Monday live show, oh, that's another thing. I figured out a schedule. So I think I'm going to go back to doing a Saturday night show. And it's going to be the Bevies and Hangout show. And we'll just keep doing a Monday show too, where we chip away at a guitar. So we'll do 2 a week for the next little while. Because the way I figure it is, I'm coming home after work on Saturday night wanting some beers. And I might as well hang out with you guys while I'm having beer on Saturday night. And then on Monday night, we can chip away at the guitar. And then once the guitar's done, maybe we just keep that rolling. And then now I'm a 2 shows a week kind of dude. I don't know. Here. You can come to one or the other, or as both. If you only cut it once, why do they call it a resaw? Well, you're not cutting it once. You're resawing what has been sawn. I mean, they don't call it a resaw when you're taking the board out of the log. That's sawing. And then when you take that board and make it into new boards, you have resawn that board. So there. Not his family, us. Yes, we're the ones he wants to hang out with. Well, my family doesn't want to sit and have beers in the shop with me. Like if they wanted to sit and have beer in the shop, I'd hang out with them. Aren't you? Don't you have somewhere to go? that's the neck. Oh, you know what I have not looked at? I know I have enough pickups and tuners and bridges and stuff. I don't know if I have enough truss rods to do 2 more guitars right now. Might have to order truss rods. Because I need those. I know I have one. But I need 3. Because I currently have 3 guitars on the go. So I'm going to have to order some truss rods. And while I'm doing that, I might as well order some more random hardwares and stuff. Go see Caleb. He's got truss rods. Does he? Okay. He probably wants too much for him. But support local business, or we won't have any local businesses left. So yeah, I'll go talk to him. Probably need some more fret wire too, actually. You only buy them because you don't trust yourself to make It's just not, it's not something I want to do with my life. I don't even like installing frets because they're made of metal. Later, Tyler. I don't like working with metal. It pisses me off. And if I can buy one for $18, buy them from Amazon because Bezos needs my money. Well, that's where I've gotten them every other time I've got them. Not because Bezos needs my money, but because $18 for a truss rod bothers me. But I am not a wealthy man, contrary to popular belief. Look at that. Got a body and a top and a neck blank. That's a good session tonight. Right on, right on. Anybody else want to talk about anything? I'd send you some truss rods, but it would cost more to ship them. See, exactly. I can get for $18 free shipping. I might have 2. Because back when I started making these particular guitars, I think I ordered like 4 or 5. Because I thought I was going to make guitars. How am I going to stick those together? I'm going to glue them. Well, I'm going to joint that. I might tilt them a little bit and then joint it. It'll be this way. Tilt them like that a little bit and then joint them. And then glue them together like that and then glue them down to the top or the body. And a whack of clamps. I don't know if I'm going to need to relieve a bunch of weight now, though. Because, this is still relatively heavy. It's not nearly as heavy as, even with that top on there. I don't think it's going to be Les Paul heavy. Maybe it will, actually. Because this stuff's pretty light. This stuff is not. So yeah, I probably should take a little bit of weight out of that. Not much though. Because you gotta remember, like, there's gonna be a big hole here for like electronics access. That's gonna take a bunch of weight out. Might do a little bit up in here. Just made a Strat telly body for a customer, bathtub route, and it still weighs about 6 pounds. Yeah, I saw that guitar. That's cool. But again, I mean, Dawn is heavy ass. I can play her. I'm not going on stage for 3 hours. Like, and if you're going on stage for 3 hours, you're swapping off guitars for different songs and stuff anyway. Because you're big time. And you got different guitars for different tunes, and like you can wear a relatively heavy guitar for 15 minutes at a time. And this will not be anywhere near as heavy as Dawn. Guarantee. I don't think I've ever felt a guitar as heavy as Dawn. Switch shoulders. Yeah, it's what the strap is. You put it on, sling it on, and get playing. Shut up. It's pretty. Rad. Making guitars. Maybe get back to the shop stool one day. Yeah. Anything else we should talk about? No? Yeah. Yesterday I put away some tools that I used months ago. Looks dramatically better. It'll do that. I still haven't dealt with over there. But I wanted to get started on these, so I did. The Merca Rocks minimal vibration. Kind of figured. Well, it better, honestly, once you start paying that kind of money for a sander, it better not rattle your arm. What would you have on next year's New Year's resolution list? Yeah. If you get all cleaning and stuff, then what do you got going? What are you gonna even? How could you possibly have goals? I'll find a way. Maybe next year will be the cello. That was maybe going to be this year, and still might. If I finish these guitars and I'm still like feeling the luthiery bug, maybe move on to the cello. I have a feeling I'm going to finish these guitars and want to go back to furniture though for a bit. Or just stand in front of the lathe for a couple months or something. Who can tell what the future holds? Not this guy. I have a vent I need to cut, route out slots, vertical, horizontal, or even diagonal. Oh, what? It's the next wood thing I need to do. Vent you need to cut with vertical, horizontal, or diagonal slots in 3/4 plywood. What kind of vent? Like you're just cutting slots in a piece of wood to put over something? Why does it need to be 3/4 inch plywood if it's just like a vent cover? Sounds like overkill. Like I'm all for overkill. That sounds unnecessary. It's for a 10 by 20 air filter, chip collection box under a planer and jointer. Yeah, that doesn't need to be 3/4 plywood. It's a good project though. Chip collection box for under a planer jointer is a good project. I still got to make a stand for this guy. Oh, rolly cart. It's holding a. Oh, it's also a stand. Never mind. I thought it was just for like to hold the air filter. I was like, it's actually a cabinet that is holding up a DeWalt 735. Okay, well that's different. Then yeah, you probably want to go with 3/4 inch plywood for that. I'm gonna make a rolly cart for this one of these days too. After guitars. And maybe shop stool. Maybe sharpening station. Who knows? Bailey Woodworks. Welcome back, my friend. You missed all the action. We did some bandsaw work tonight. We're putting the Rikon through its paces, man. "12-inch resaw of Purple Heart and Maple." And then we broke down a piece of spalted maple and made a book match top for it. Getting work done. Mike didn't cut his digits off. I did not. It is a little bit of an awkward cut though, isn't it? Cutting a guitar body that like rocks up and down as it's like going over the edges of the bandsaw table. Are you leaving the little knots in the middle? Dunno. I want to taper those in. You know what? They might end up being, they're pretty close to ended up being where the pickup goes. Honestly, looking at it. If I taper that book match in, they might, depending on which way I taper that in, they might be pretty close to where the pickup goes. So, I mean, I'm not going to intentionally take them out. You should see the disasters when somebody tries to cut an acoustic body on a bandsaw. Yeah, I don't know if it showed up on the stream, but there were a couple of times where it, like, because of the roundedness of it, it did want to. And initially I thought I was gonna, in my head, I was like, you should probably glue some blocks to like It's a little support block or something underneath some of these. But then I realized that it wouldn't have mattered because those blocks would have been off the bed of the saw anyway when this went over the back edge of the table. So, and then when I did the one this afternoon, and it all went fine, it also wanted to pull. Like when it was sitting on the table and the blade got to here, it wanted to. It's not an operation that I recommend to a beginner, for sure. But why would a beginner have a 14-inch bandsaw with 13 inches of resaw capacity? So if you get to the point where you have one of those, is that accurate to say? I almost said if you get to the point where you have one of those, then you should probably know what you're doing with it. But that's not accurate. I very easily, when I first got that saw, if I would have tried this operation on that saw when I first brought it into the shop, things would have gone badly. I'm sure they would have. Not a great operation to do, though I don't necessarily recommend it. But it took it like a champ. Especially the walnut one. The Purple Heart one, it didn't like very much. It didn't like 12 inches of walnut and hard maple. Or Purple Heart and hard maple. It didn't like that very much. It didn't hate it. I don't think it took a long time. I don't think it took more than 3 or 4 minutes. All right. We'll see you in a few. Well, if we're still here. I don't know. People aren't really talking, so I might just give up. I think that's going to be a pretty top of a guitar. I do still wish that it was all like the inky spalting that was on the outside. But there's enough cool stuff happening in the inside of those boards that we'll do one more beer and see if anybody pipes up that they want to talk about anything. If not, we'll just shut her down. What's your next choice of heartwood after pine for larger shop furniture? Hold on. Or what's still cheap but not construction lumber? Seems like a leap in price either way and leads me to maple and the like. Cherry is relative. I mean, depending, I don't know, you're in Minnesota, Wisconsin-ish. I would think that cherry might be relatively inexpensive. I make all my shop furniture out of Douglas fir because I just have a crap ton of it and it grows like weeds here. Poplar? What are you getting charged for? Like poplar's perfectly. I don't know why people piss on poplar all the time in terms of like paint grade or whatever, but like it's a hardwood, like, and it can be pretty. I've seen things made out of poplar that were really attractive. Once you run it through the planer, you can hit it with a spritz of water and see how the grain pot. Yeah, it'll be nice, even if it isn't like the really dark inky spalting that I was hoping it would be. It'll still be attractive. I'm not worried about that. I feel guilty using cherry. Why? Your shop's supposed to be your shop is supposed to be a place you want to be, and it's like I use walnut drawer fronts. I mean, I do an accent walnut drawer front and walnut knobs on my Douglas fir and red oak cabinets in my shop. It's supposed to be great. It's supposed to be welcoming, and it's great place to practice. So like, make stuff for your shop that could go in the house if it turns out awesome, and if it doesn't, put it up on the wall in the shop. If I had as much cherry as I have Douglas fir, I would me making my shop cabinets out of cherry. Poplar is my choice if I'm painting. All the trim in the closets and stuff is poplar. Yeah, nothing right. Even not painted. I've seen poplar made into nice pieces of furniture that were not painted. Lathe table bench is the project I'm thinking of wood. Yeah, whatever you can get cheap. And it's good. It's a good practice project. Nice straight grain Douglas fir. There's nothing saying you always have to go to hardwood. I make stuff out of Douglas fir. Like I said, I have a crap ton of it because I got it for cheap because it grows like a weed here. But a nice quarter sawn piece of Douglas fir with nice tight grain on it, it's an attractive wood, and it's more than durable enough for shop cabinets and stuff. There's a difference between softwood and Home Depot lumber. You can get good softwood. You're not going to get it at Home Depot or Lowe's, but you can absolutely get it, and it's still cheaper than walnut. And it's just fine. It's going to be pine fir, but maybe splurge on the top or legs, but not both. Hey, yeah, I mean, a nice laminated maple top that you can use like a workbench if you really needed to would be cool. I like paint the base and have a nice wooden top on a painted base. That'd look pretty rad. Paint the base black and have like a bowling alley style like maple top on it. Yeah, I'm liking that. Larry Stone, what up? You missed all the fun too, my friend. Spruce is nice, and I've seen some fir that had awesome grain. I've got lots of good fir. I've got lots of good Douglas fir, and it was cheap. I had to buy a lot of it for it to be cheap, but I probably have 700 or 800 board feet of Douglas fir. And it's pretty nice. You just cut around the knots if you don't want them. If you do want them, you don't have to. Oh man, my local lumber store is getting worse and worse for pricing though. I went in today to get this piece of Purple Heart. And okay, Purple Heart, it's a hardwood from Africa. Okay, it's going to be a little bit more expensive. But it's $3 or $4 a board foot more than it used to be. And the shorts piles, the pallets full of like the garbage wood that the mill just didn't want to burn. So the stuff that doesn't meet grade, it's like it's all full of defects and knots and sapwood and all kinds of stuff. The maple was like $18 a board foot, or the walnut was like $18 a board foot. The cherry was like $15 a board foot. They're like, the cherry was $14 a board foot. maple was, or the walnut, I think was $19 a board foot for 4/4 shorts. There was a lift of sapele 4/4 shorts that were $4 a board foot more than they were the last time I bought sapele shorts. Yeah. I got my piece of Purple Heart that I needed, and I got the hell out. Larry Stone, I can watch your videos over and over. Yay! Thanks, man. I must be super entertaining. Because you even know what's going to happen, and then you can still watch it. It's probably my my oozing charisma. That's probably what it is. I think that's probably it. I have fun. I mean, I like all I'm doing out here is making my way through the world, making stuff in my shop, bringing people along for the journey. That's it. SPF spruce pine fir mixed with supply locale. Yeah, I don't SPF. I don't like that. I don't like the fact that they won't tell you what it is. Like it's different every time. Like sell pine as pine, sell spruce as spruce, sell fir as fir. If it's framing material, that's basically what SPF is. It's like whatever softwood happened to come out of the forest, and we chop it into 2x4s. I mean, yeah, use it for shop furniture if you want, but don't think that you're making nice furniture. You're making functional things that are getting the job done. That's what SPF is. Any hidden documents? You're gonna have to flesh that out, I think, Larry. Not sure what you're referring to. Hidden documents. I don't have any Oh, I know. Took me a second. No, I don't have any hidden documents. Do I? Nope. I don't think so. Nothing classified anyway. But I'm not getting into... Don't make me get into political talk. I don't want to. I don't want to get into political talk. I don't want to get into religion talk. I don't want to get into... No, that's about it. Mainly the two things. Yeah, I can't think of anything else that I want to not talk about. Should we get wrapping this one up? I don't know. I'm kind of out of things to say. For those that came late, I made I thinned this so that it's ready to get a book match spalted maple top on it, which I then also made out of a big ass piece of spalted maple. Actually, it's still a pretty good piece of maple, actually. Like that's the leftovers off this piece of wood is actually still, that's 1 3/4 inches left off that 3 inches. And then I've got Like these guys that are full threes, that I get 1, 2, at least 3 like lidded boxes or something out of that. And then a couple other ones, like some good leftover chunks after I got that top out of there. Not a lot more, just another 30 to 45 minutes. That's what we need to do. We need to do another 30 to 45 minutes of show. Because I can. I don't have anywhere to be. You guys need to keep talking, though. And not about politics. Political discussions help keep you young. I'm happy to talk about... Okay, here's the thing. Here's the thing with political discussions. Am I gonna? Yeah. Okay. So, the world is not a black and white place. The world is not a right or wrong or an us or them place. And too many political discussions are us versus them, and left versus right, and Republican versus Democrat, and liberal versus conservative, and it's a bunch of nonsense. It's a bunch of nonsense. The world is not this or that. There's middle, there's gray, and there's nuance. And there needs to be more open and honest discussion about compromise and respect for opposing views, instead of just, you're wrong because you're red, or you're wrong because you're blue, or you're wrong because whatever. Start listening to each other and considering other alternatives and respecting each other's views a little more. Find a way forward together, instead of fighting about left or right, or black or white, or red or blue. It's garbage. And that's what I have to say about that. That's enough. That's more than enough politics. That's not even politics. That's just being a good human being. You goaded me into it. You goaded me into political talk. That's the kind of political talk I'll get into. Treat each other with more respect and start considering each other's opinions, instead of just hating each other for no reason. Okay. Not 30 or 45 minutes of show, just of shop work. You have 30 minutes more of shop time? Have a scotch, it'll be okay. I don't think I have any. I've got beer. I don't think I have any scotch right now. Need to go get a new bottle of scotch. Let me check. Nope, not a scotch. Try a new bottle of gin. Sure. Can I post an Imgur link of a lathe bench I want to model mine after? You can't post links in the chat. It won't even show up. You can email it to me and I'll have a look at it and at least have an understanding, but I'm the only one that'll see it. You can post it on my Facebook page and people can see it there. My Facebook page allows people to post on it. You could tag me in an Instagram post. Aviation Gin. Is that the one that Ryan Reynolds owns? Or is a part owner of? Is that the Ryan Reynolds Gin? I think it is. Yeah. All right. Cool. I haven't had it yet, but get obsessed with designs. Really want to build it. Do it. If it sucks, it sucks. It's a stand for a lathe. Like, whatever. That's the cool thing about shop furniture is you can build it. And then if you don't like it, it's just a piece of shop furniture. So it doesn't matter. Like, that's why my shop stool is overly complicated and fancy when it ends up getting done. Because I had an idea in my head for what a cool shop stool might be based on my coffee table. So I'm going to make a shop stool based on my coffee table. Maybe it'll suck and be terrible, but I'm going to sit on it. Bought my wife some Snoop Dogg wine. Surprised it was actually decent. Hey. Sure. I got goaded into talking about politics, Paul. You missed it. Right, the Cowboys are up 24-0 against the Bucks. Wow. How about my pick last week for the Chargers? Eh? That's good work, Davies. It's been a weird. I was gonna say it's been a weird year for football. It's been a weird couple years for football. Might be the night that the Brady curse is broken. Yeah, see, you say that, but the Chargers lost from 27-0. And don't tell me that Tom Brady has never come back and won a football game down 24 points. Tom Brady headed to the Raiders. Tom Brady's headed for retirement. I cannot see Tom Brady changing teams again. If Tom Brady is going to be changing teams, I think he's going to sign a one-day contract with the Patriots and retire. He did win a Super Bowl down that far. This is true. He had a better football team then, though. One more beer, and then we're out. It's a good night, my friends. We got some good work done. Tomorrow, depending on how I feel, I will get back chipping away at the one that I'm not doing live on the show, which is the walnut purple heart maple one. resaw that piece of Purple Heart into a top and maybe get it glued on. We'll see. By next week, I don't want to do too much not live on the show. I will have to, at some points, do some things between shows, because it'll get to a point where it's like the only thing that I can do is this one thing, and then I have to wait. So, like, I don't want it to be like, okay, tonight we're going to glue the top on the body, and all I do is, like, smudge glue on it and clamp it down. That's not a very interesting show. So there will be some things that I do in between shows on the guitar build. But next week, like, for example, this week, I might, in between the show, I might taper these. And get them, I absolutely will get them, like, planed, jointed and planed. I might get the taper done on them and get the top glued up in between now and next show. We'll see. I might not. You want to watch me do wiring live? Yeah, that'll be fun. Might not even do the wiring on these ones. I might farm it out. Actually, it's a pretty simple wiring job. One volume, one tone. I can probably solder that together. Speaking of things I need to order or acquire in some way for these guitars, other than truss rod, I don't know how many potentiometers I have. And if I have potentiometers, I don't think I have any capacitors. I'll turn my own knobs again. I absolutely have tuners, bridges, pickups, jack plates. Maybe might need a couple of jack plates. Not sure. I want to do a live build on my channel, but I don't think I would make it through YouTube censors. Yeah. All you got to do is not swear for the first, like, 4 minutes. And then after that, I don't think they care. But how many pots and caps do you need? You have an abundance of them. Well, 4, 5, 6. 6. I need 6 pots and 3 capacitors, and they need to be the shorties. I had that problem with the last guitar where it's like the stem on the jobbies was, and then the depth of the pot caused a problem. So I need, like, the stubbies. I don't know what they're called. I'm clearly not, like, whatever the stubby pots are called. I need those ones. And I guess right now I need 6 because I'm in 3 guitar builds. And they're all just singles. But all 3 of my current builds are going to be single humbucker, single tone, single volume. You can send me some tomorrow. I have the best fans. My fans are better than your fans. Because I say I need this thing and somebody says, here, have that thing. He sent me these little planes. Thanks, man. Yeah, if you want to send pots and capacitors, you can absolutely do that. Got to prod you away from shop stools towards guitars. Yeah, I mean, if you really want me to become a luthier, you should probably supply me with as many luthier things as you can. It's a good point. It's a good point. Like I said, maybe I get done these guitars and then I finish Dusk, and then I'm still all like gung ho luthiery, and I make a cello. And at that point, if that's what happens this year, I think it's probably safe to say, like, I think I'm probably a luthier at that point. Do I need audio jacks? Is that the part that the cord plugs in? Because yeah. But I don't like the ones. I don't like the ones that go in here. I like the ones that go in the butt. The ones that go in the face of a guitar, I don't like. I understand them. I get it. I don't like them. I don't like them visually. No, mainly that's it. I don't care one way or the other audibly. But I don't like the cord going into the face of the guitar. I like it going into the butt of the guitar. Cord should go in here, not here. Cord goes in here. It's aesthetically interrupting the beautiful face of the guitar. The cord should go in there. What was that? I feel you need a 90-degree cable end for those ones. Nope. No, they hang out and they go that way, but they don't interrupt the aesthetic beauty of the face of the guitar. Going into the face is just awkward, right? Got a jack going right into the face of the guitar. And it also, like, it takes up like that much. It's not just the cord that goes in and takes up like that much, but the jack plate itself is just like, it takes up like this huge amount of space on the face of the guitar. It's aesthetically unpleasing. No, the 90-degree plug is going into the face so it doesn't point out in front of you. Oh, okay. Well, if you had a straight plug going into the face, yeah, I would want to have one of those. But I'm talking about like the Fender-y kinds, where it's like it plugs in on an angle and like the whole jack plate takes up like this big footprint on the face of the guitar. I don't like those. The closest thing I have to a jack on the face is on my bass. It's in a slot cut in 45 to the face. I could probably go get a guitar and I could show you the thing that makes me angry that I'm. But I think we all know what I'm talking about. It's those angle jack plate things that the cord comes out like this into the plate, but there's a big oval thing that it has to go in. Messes up the aesthetic beauty of the front of a guitar. But I also, I mean, I'm kind of weird, and I don't really care for scratch plates or whatever they're called, pick guards. Face plates. What are they called? The stupid things that All the Stratocasters, they wire it into the thing and then they just screw the thing to the front. What are those things called? They're made out of plastic most of the time. Call it a pick guard. But it's like the whole wiring system gets like, they wire the inside of this thing and then they slap the whole thing on the top of the guitar. I'm trying to think. I know there's a name for it. So like, it's a wiring harness. No, that's like a thing for a stereo in a car. Basically, though, they wire the pickups onto the back of the Strat thing that just gets screwed into the guitar. Clearly an expert right here. Anyway, I hate them. I don't. I just don't want them on guitars that I'm going to make. I have templates to make wooden pick guards. Cool. Yeah, that'd be sweet. Do I want some olive wood? You know the answer, Paul, is that I will never say no to free chunks of wood. And I think that was last week, wasn't it? We were talking about how I'd never worked with olive wood and that I would like to. So, yeah. Yeah, I watched your wood hoarding video today. I saw you commented on it. That's an old video, my friend. That was like one of the first 4 or 5 months. And I still, since I made that video, I still have not purchased any wood that I didn't need for a specific project. Is that accurate to say? Yes, it is. I think it is accurate to say that since I made that video, I have not purchased any wood just cause. I have only purchased wood that was specifically needed for a specific project, or yeah, which was kind of the point of that video, is that I had been buying wood just because I'd find it for cheap or free, or, well, free is different, but I'd find it for cheap, so I'd buy it. And I'd find it for cheap, so I'd buy it. And then I'd keep little crappy scraps just because I couldn't bear to throw them away. I am still successful on my resolutions from that video. I have not bought any more wood just because it was cheap since then. Lies. I bought a huge stack of Douglas fir just because it was cheap. Only once have I bought wood just because it was cheap since I made that video. Am I ever going to use that sapele? I've been slowly chipping away at it, and I shouldn't, because it is for a project. That wood is for a specific project. All that sapele up there, is for a major piece of furniture. And I need to stop grabbing pieces of it. I haven't grabbed too many, but I've taken down a couple. I absolutely still have enough for the project, but I need to stop going into those racks because I need probably 90 board feet for the sideboard that I'm going to make, and I have about 110. So I need to stop. I need to not touch that stuff until I make my sideboard. Anyone for real bought Baltic birch ply in the last 4 months? Nope. I haven't bought Baltic birch ply. Is it accurate to say ever? It's probably accurate to say that I have never bought Baltic birch ply. Nope. It is inaccurate because that's what I made my cajones out of when I was way early in woodworking and I wanted to make Peruvian hand drums. I bought 1/2-inch Baltic birch. But that was 5 years ago. That was about the same time that I made these guitar blanks. It was when I was making those drums. So I haven't bought a piece of Baltic birch for 5 years, probably. $152 for 1/2-inch. Jesus Christ. Just don't. There's ways around it. Don't buy that. Just buy crappy Home Depot wood and use more filler and then paint it. Because politics. Not going to get into it. Matthias Wandel has a video on making your own plywood. I am also going to have a video on making your own plywood. They are going to be very, very small pieces of plywood, but they're going to be fancy pieces of plywood. I'm going to make plywood out of walnut veneer. Coming up relatively soon. There's going to be little. But I am absolutely going to have a video on making your own plywood out of walnut veneer. And if you just need little sheets. I'm gonna find out if you can make walnut plywood out of sheets of veneer in a kitchen vacuum sucker thing that, like, where you vacuum seal your meats in your kitchen when you buy like bulk ground beef, and you like put them in the little the bags, and then you stick them in the thing and you push it down and it sucks all the air out. I'm gonna try and make plywood in those. We'll see. I mean, if it doesn't, it's no big deal. I'll just take some like melamine and just squish it. But I think it'd be fun to try using like the kitchen vacuum sealer thing to make walnut plywood out of the veneer that my friend Tyler Peterson gave me for my birthday last year. So that's coming up. Stay tuned. And then I'm going to make those pieces of walnut veneer into plywood, and I'm going to make Mike's Wooden Things and Stuff keychains out of them. And they'll be for sale. Because business Mike. And I'll lose money shipping them to you. Because I don't price things properly or estimate the shipping cost of things. So I'll charge $20 for them, and then it'll cost me $27 to send them to your house. Anyway, let's wrap this one up. I'm happy with where we got to on the guitar tonight. Probably before next week, I will joint and plane these and taper them and possibly glue them together so that next week we can maybe start on the neck. Maybe trace the neck onto the blank and get it cut out. Maybe start cutting slots in a fretboard. Oh yeah, fretboards for both of these guitars are Indian rosewood. I have decided, in case anybody's curious. So we got to cut some slots. We've got to cut a neck out of a giant piece of maple and purple heart. To make sure I have enough fret wire, which I guarantee you I do not. So I get some more of that. Got to get a truss rod or 3. We're on our way. We're on our way. Let's put it that way. Stay happy, stay healthy, stay safe, everybody. Thanks for coming once again. I'm going to turn my heater on because my feet are starting to get a little bit cold. But I had to have my heater off so that I could run power tools. This one. Mainly this one, because it plugs into the same plug. Bye for now, everybody. Thanks for coming. I'm looking forward to building this with you.